All right, hello, welcome back to the stream, everybody. Good to see you all. Hello, Luca. I'm sorry I missed your message in the stream video because I didn't have my tools set up correctly. I appear to be a little bit off this morning. I'm just doing a bunch of I'm just not on my A game. You know, I keep forgetting to do basic things, but we are going to work through that. Hello, 25 Studio. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. All right, so today we're going to be continuing on that boss, the Lowrider spider, and we're just going to see how that works out. So I want to start doing the art, so I'm going to actually get this A sprite opened here. I want to start working on the art, just do a little bit of like white boxing or basic sketching of the spider. As I mentioned in the previous streams, I think that this boss's art is probably going to be pretty complex. It's definitely going to stretch my abilities a little bit. So there's going to be a little bit of floundering around trying to figure out how to get the art to look good. But, you know, that's all part of the entertainment factor, right? So before I get into that, I want to mention that I have my Udemy courses available for sale. So if you want to support me financially and you want to learn how to make a game in the Godot engine, check out the links in the description below to pick up one of my courses. And otherwise, you can wishlist Gunforge. You can sign up for my email list at firebelly.com. Every way that you can support me is linked in the description below. So any and all support is greatly appreciated. All right, let's go ahead and let's take stock of what is going on with the boss currently before we get into the art. So open up the Lowrider spider. It's currently got a pink square placeholder here. And what we're gonna do is let's take a look at the game and just see how he's working out. So in yesterday's stream, we added like a spider meteor and a charge attack and all kinds of good stuff like that. So here's a Lowrider spider. He's gonna charge, slam into the wall, drop some stuff from the ceiling, do his spin to win move. Probably do another charge here real quick. Oop, he did another spin to win. Ooh, this is going to be a very tough boss fight, which is good, I think. Yeah, it's going to be good. Okay, so that's the boss as he exists currently. Let's get started on some artwork for this. I like watching your videos. You can make a video about how to make... you can make a video about how to make a bowstring or just a vector that can be clamped. And we'll let the object into Godot. I'm not sure what you mean, 25 Studio. You can make a video. Yeah, I'm not sure. Are you asking for a video that... Yeah, do you want to rephrase that? I'm not sure exactly what you're asking for there. Okay, let's go ahead and create a new file here. Lowrider spider. So where is the... Here we go. Sprite 2D 48 by 32. So let's do that. We'll start with those dimensions and we'll start with this. Actually, let's make it a little bit bigger. Just so I have some breathing room here. Okay. So that's what we're going to do. Now, what I want to pull up is some kind of Lowrider here. So I have something to reference. Let's see. I need one that's got a good, like, view for me. That's kind of good. Okay, so there seems to be a pretty generic sort of Lowrider form. I think I want to make it like a convertible style because that's going to be easier, and also the spider needs to be like in the driver's seat. So I want to do something like that probably. but it needs to have a different sort of profile. Like this kind of profile for the art might be okay. Or this one. Okay, let's maybe start with this. Yeah, let's maybe start with that and we'll see how it goes. A Chevy Impala. Is that what I want to look for? 1964 Chevy Impala. Okay, interesting. Yeah, like this kind of view, I think, might be good for the art. That's at least very clear. That's gonna help me out quite a bit. Yeah, I might base it off of that view. That's actually pretty helpful, I think. So let's do that. See what works. Hello, Daily Shadow. I'm also developing a game. Can I ask why you chose C#? Yeah, so this is a very common question I get. But I don't mind answering it because, you know, different people are watching the streams different times. So the reason I chose C# is a couple big reasons. One, I wanted typing, like static typing, to help me keep my, you know, project organized and everything. And when I started Gunforged, Godot 3 did not have, the version of Godot 3 that I was on, did not have static typing in GDScript. So that was just kind of like a no-brainer because there was no option. But the other thing about C# that's nice is that you can make use of typical software design patterns. So I use abstract classes quite a bit in Gunforged. And I also make use of a lot of the built-in features like link and the data structures that come with C#, like queues and hash sets and all those things. Now, obviously, all those kind of things, except for link, really are accomplishable with GDScript, but you know, the ability to have like a highly organized and structured project with types was the main attraction for C# for me. So, hope that answers your question. Let's do a little bit of a split window here. Okay. I could use like a sprites reference feature, I think, but we won't worry about that yet. Okay, so I want to do something like... So that's like the hood of the car. And then we do something like this. I'm just going to start with the basic shapes first. Just going to start with the very basic shapes. And I might even make it so basic that I just copy and paste this and just slide this on over. Is that the way it needs to be? I don't know. We're gonna try it out. Actually. There we go. Why does that not look right? I suppose that is right. Okay. So obviously we need like the windshield here, and I want to make it like a convertible. I guess before I go too far, I probably want... Probably just want to throw it into the game just to make sure that it's looking all right. There's going to be like an extra like curve here or something, but one thing at a time here. We'll just get the basic shape in place. I think this is awkward. That needs to be a straight line, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay, so we're getting like a, basically just like a rectangle here. Yeah, that needs to be a straight line for sure. So let's get that in place and just remove this. Okay, so we've got kind of like the profile shape here. I may need to make this bigger, but the reason, so I was just about to say that I want to throw this into the game just as a box right now, just so that I can see if the size is correct, because you don't want to, you know, make a huge mistake with respect to the size immediately. So let's just go ahead and save this in assets, entity. We don't have a folder for the Lowrider spider, so let's go ahead and do that. Lowrider spider. And we're going to save this as Lowrider spider here. Spider, a sprite. Okay. You're welcome, Daily Shadow. Hello, Alex Sir Weaver. Welcome back to the stream. Is that an art stream? Yes, we're going to be, I will say probably mainly focused on art today, but probably we'll get into some code as well. Mimo Saber, please help me to learn pixel art for absolute newbie beginner ever exists. Okay, well, here's the thing. I have a video on pixel art coming out on the 30th, so the day before Halloween. So it's not necessarily an in-depth pixel art tutorial, but what it is it's 5 pixel art tips that I learned that drastically improved my ability to create pixel art. So the idea is that this video is geared toward you or other people who have absolutely no pixel art skill or maybe no art skill generally and want to learn how to get good at pixel art. So that video is coming out in just a couple days. And I think it's going to help quite a few people. So yeah, keep an eye on the channel. That's coming out again on the 30th. So maybe the angles are off. Yeah, we'll see. How is this period going in general? Having a different, more relaxed routine, both the anxiety of having to complete the game and everything that comes with it. Yeah, I mean, it's relaxed. I mean, I would say that I'm having a good time, generally speaking. It helps that, you know, I'm not entirely dependent upon the sale of Gunforge to extend my budget because you all are buying my courses. And so given that income is coming in every month, that makes things a lot easier for me. So there's less anxiety about that. I'm still running a deficit in terms of my budget, but it's a very slow burn. So I've got plenty of time to figure out how to make more money. Gunforge is part of that equation, obviously. So I would say that I'm well positioned right now, which means that it's not super stressful yet. Now that may change as I get down. If I can't grow my income that much more, as I get down to the last of my savings, that's obviously going to change. But for now, I'm feeling pretty good. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's going well. Okay, let's go ahead and export this. So make sure we select this, export that. Did that save as, oops. Yeah, that worked, okay. So this sprite, let's put this on there. So that's a little bit smaller. So we might have to make it a little bit bigger, 5640. So it's going to be something like this. Actually, what am I doing? I probably want that, and then I want to change the position. Yeah. So that's roughly the same size. It's a little bit smaller, so maybe I will extend it a little bit, but I'm curious to see what that actually looks like in game. The angle may be off, so I may have to change that. Although it doesn't look terrible, actually. That spin to win move is going to have to change for sure because that doesn't look right, but... I could make it more like this perspective here where the table, like you can just see like the back part of it. So maybe I'll try that. Let's do a new layer here. Let's try that same thing, but let's go ahead and make it flat instead, but then have an angle like so. So make it more like that. Probably actually want to, well, make the grill here. Could do something like that, perhaps. So it's more of like a straight box. This kind of looks awkward. Why does that look awkward? Hold on. Okay, I think that's probably better. Just make sure the lines all match up. Yeah, I feel like that perspective's still a little weird. Like this line there is not working right, which means I have to like drag this down. That looks better. Yeah, that's probably better. Okay, let's try this perspective as well. Okay, let's give that a shot. How do you have the file stuff color-coded? It's just a built-in feature. You just right-click on the folders. It's new in Godot 4.3, I think, but yeah, you just right-click on the folders and then assign a color. Oh yeah, Netk already answered it, yeah. I should read ahead a little bit. Okay, let's get a look at what this Lowrider spider looks like here. That's probably a better perspective, honestly, because it kind of matches the rest of the entities better. So obviously that spin to win is gonna have to change. I don't know how I'm gonna fix that, but okay, I think I'll stick with that perspective because it kind of matches everything else much better. So I've got a nice little base here that I can build upon for that Lowrider. I think I want to make this a little bit thicker though. And the question is, how do I do that? How do I do that? Do I have to undo this? Let's see. You have to pardon my floundering around with the art. But this is just how I have to do things. So I want to make it much thicker. Maybe that's too thick. No, actually, I think that's fine. And then make sure we match up the lines. That might be a little bit too thick. I want to move this up just like 1 pixel. There we go. Match up the lines. I just keep ending up with this problem. Where this top looks awkward now. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter because I'm going to be shaping it anyway. But I keep making this like thinner. I mean, I guess that works. Oops. I just don't want to, I just want to be very cautious about laying out this initial shape before I go all in on detail, because that would suck if I did it and then I was like, you know what, that doesn't really work. There's something still awkward about that. Does that look better? There's something, yeah, I think there's just something off. Like that needs to go there, I think. But then this is too thick. So then I move this up. Okay, okay. All right, okay. I think we're getting there. Very slowly. Bullet hell attack could look like a lowrider hydraulics flexing instead of rotating. Oh yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, like bounce up and down. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that shape, I think. Okay, so let's add some more detail to that shape. So obviously a lowrider is not a is not just a flat box. We also need, so I'm gonna, let's see, let's add this to a group. How do I create a group? New group. Here we go. Body shape, I guess we'll call it. This will be the body. I don't know the automotive terms, the proper terms here still. But we'll keep the body like that. And so now we need like a windshield. Let's see if I can find a different image that more closely matches my perspective. Yeah, so that's better, I guess. Again, we're gonna make it sort of like a convertible. We've kind of got like I can see a little bit of the top as well. So I'm gonna see if I can find an image in here that's a little bit like that. Yeah, that's kind of close to the perspective that I've got. It's flipped the other way, but yeah, I think that's probably a good reference to use there. So Obviously, I don't want to make it look exactly like it, but I'm just kind of using this for inspiration here. Let's try this. Okay. I'm just going to use red. So, am I doing this wrong? Oh, I am doing it wrong. I need to make it like... like that, I suppose? Hold on a second. Yeah, I think it's gonna kind of look awkward, kind of no matter how I do it, but let's put it maybe there. So the windshield and then the door. Okay, so that's kind of a good windshield shape, I guess. I'm just gonna kind of color in some of these spots just to make the shape stand out more. So let's call this windshield. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw out all the shapes, I think. And then once I have something good, I'm gonna take these shapes and merge them all together, and then I'm gonna paint over them with all the colors and details. But I just want to get like the form in a good spot. So I think, yeah, I mean, I think like with a little bit of, you know, erasing or making things a little bit more curved, I think this is gonna look all right. Suspension parts as bullets. Yeah, that's true. I could do that. Art stream, let's go. Yeah, we are doing the art stream. Okay, so I wanted to make it a convertible, so I'm not going to do like this roof thing because basically the spider is going to sit right behind the windshield here. And as a matter of fact, I might even move this windshield up more. This is going to look like a really compact, like sort of like almost like a dwarf Chevy Impala, I guess is what it's going to look like. Okay, so that's fine. And again, I want to make it like a convertible. So there need to be like a seat in here. I don't know how much of that I need to draw though, because the spider's going to be sitting in it. So we're just going to ignore that for now, I suppose. Obviously, we need the wheels to be in place. And the doors. So maybe let's do doors next. Let's figure that out. So let's do a different color for the doors. So let's see. So this kind of triangle here is like that triangle there. I guess that could actually be... well, I'm on the wrong layer, but... this could actually be angled as well. So yeah, it's got a little angle there. I don't know if that's super visible, but... let's just keep it at a right angle for now. I'll worry about that detail later. Okay, so the door, it starts where the windshield joins here. So we'll just put that there. And then it goes... Oh, it's a two-door. Okay, so yeah, it's a two-door. So this just goes somewhere like right here. And then the wheel well is going to be there. So in order to have room for the wheel, I actually probably need to select both of these and just like move it over a little bit. So basically back to where it was. Okay, so we got the door. Got the door. Oops. I guess that looks kind of ugly, but it's because I kind of erased the outlines here. And then there would be like a handle here. Okay. What does it look like when it's convertible? When it's got the roof down? Is it even a convertible? If I were to... Okay, yeah, you can see like the back seats, I guess. Some of the windows are up still. I don't know if I want to go that far. I think... Okay, let's just... Okay, let's just keep the door there. I need to do the wheels for sure. Hopefully this will be easy enough. How big are the wheels? I think probably something like that'll work. And do I want to do like a, it needs to be a lowrider, so like it needs to be more like this, I guess. Or maybe if I do this, hold on. Lowrider. Okay, so it needs to be like a big cutout. I don't have enough room in the front of the vehicle. So what do I do about that? Can I... Maybe I'll just make the art bigger. Move this to the back. Take this body, move it up more. Just give myself some more room, you know? Not sure if I can send links. I found a few examples here. Yeah, I don't think links work in the YouTube chat. I don't think viewers can send links, unfortunately. But thank you. Okay, so the wheels, I need a cutout. So let's just go ahead and do that. So let's do, whoops. It needs to be like a, something like that. It's kind of still too close to the bumper, I guess, but I could do this. I want to do like some big fat wheels, but I think I might have to do something clever with the art here, especially if I want to animate the bumping up and down, or bouncing up and down. The examples are in Pixel Squid. Yeah, I think I'm good. I think I'm good for now with my references, but thank you. I'll definitely check that out though if I get stuck. Yeah, I might need to get creative with how this is working, because that wheel is a little bit too big. But let's just see, does this fit over here? Does this need to be even longer? Might need to be even longer. Or I could shrink the size of the door, because it doesn't need to be, it really shouldn't be an exact copy. But in this case, in this one over here, yeah, the wheel needs to be like up more. Basically like that. Because it needs to be a lowrider, you know what I'm saying? So how do I... Yeah, I guess my proportions are a little bit off here. Oops. So let's see, if I just put this on the same angle, so it'd be easier if I just do this. Or if I, wait, let's do this actually. Can I do this? Guess not. Okay, I'll do this on a new layer, I guess. And then what I can do is just chop this away. And I can also do this, I suppose. Turn that opacity down. So kind of get something like that. It definitely looks more low-rider-y. Definitely looks more low-rider-y. And just for some emphasis, I guess I could do some highlights there just to show that this is like a bevel. Honestly, the tires would probably be... I'm not really doing colors right now, but let's merge this down. Not really doing colors right now, but the tires would be, you know, a kind of different color. And then I could have a shadow underneath to emphasize that a little bit better. But we're not doing details yet. I'm just experimenting with how this would go. Yeah, it would be something like that. Yeah. So we're getting there. It's, yeah, we're getting there. Okay, let's do a couple more things here. I think, well, do I want to add... I don't want to go too deep into like adding a seat here. But I probably do want to block it out at least. So that I kind of know what I'm doing. Not that I know what I'm doing, but you know what I mean. Gee dang it. Let's use purple for the seat, I guess. Just so that I know kind of what's going on here. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so there's the seat, and then again, I don't really have I chose the wrong color, I suppose. Let's do that, or that, and then the seat would kind of be, I guess there would be a darker patch here. This is where the spider is going to sit, but just kind of like trying to block out sort of what the shape of the seat would be here. Yeah, so something like that, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm not going to go too overboard on that right now, but yeah, kind of like that. So you got a little bit of a lip there. And then if I were adding more details, I'd probably do like a shadow back here. I could make this extend upward even more. So if I did something a little bit thicker. And then I did some kind of shadow here. I think that looks decent. I mean, the spider's going to be sort of taking up most of that space anyway. So again, I don't really want to go overboard, but uh-oh. There we go. How are you going to deal with the spin to win in the art? I think I'm just going to do the attack. I'm just going to have the attack do something differently instead of trying to, because I'd have to draw frames for like the spinning, I think. I think the attack will just work differently, that's all. Hello, Jesse the Fish. Yep, working on the boss art, trying to get something working. Hello, Kalikalam. Bought your course on Udemy. Thank you. I very much appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. And yeah, again, anyone that's watching the VOD or watching now, if you want to support my work and you want to learn how to make a game in the Godot engine, you can check out my Udemy courses. Those links are in the description below. I just realized that the course on Udemy I'm working through right now is your course. Very nice. I've had a couple of people coming through the channel recently that are like, wait a minute, you're the guy that made the Vampire Survivors course or whatever. And it's funny that people are discovering my courses first and then my YouTube channel, which is really fun. We'll study during Christmas holidays. Yeah, Christmas is a great time to get into that stuff. Okay, I mean, I'm probably ready to start adding detail, get rid of some of the boxiness here, make it a little bit more shapely, I guess you could say. But before I do that, I want to export this and just see how it looks in game. So honestly, I'm very happy with how this is turning out so far. I'm very happy with it. That shadow's probably too big. That'll work. Oh, it needs an outline too. That's the other thing. I don't necessarily want to... I don't want to really outline it perfectly yet, but I do want to see what it looks like with an outline. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'll go ahead and do that really quick. Yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised with how this is going so far. We'll see how the detailing phase goes, but as of right now, I'm feeling optimistic. We're not going to add an outline to the bottom of the tires. I guess that looks kind of weird with these outlines in the middle as well. But let's just see how it looks. Okay. I remember I stumbled upon a GDC talk. He said he wrote a book about game programming patterns, and then I realized I remember his name. His book was at my desk at that moment. Oh yeah, that's funny. Love when things like that happen. All right, so there's the Lowrider in game. Obviously the spin to win is going to change, but yeah, this is gonna be great. When the spider is actually in the cabin there, or in the driver's seat, and when there's particles and everything, and when it's been properly detailed and all that stuff, and when it's properly flipping to match the correct direction. Yeah, I think it's gonna look great. Oops, where are you going, sir? There seems to be some bugs with the movement here. But yeah, I'm thinking that's good. So I think what I want to do now is I'm going to take a break from that art for a little bit here. Call this outline. I'm going to commit what I have. And I'm going to go into some of the code now and change some things here. So we've got the facing component. Okay, I need to figure out how I want to use this. So this is going to control the the way that the boss is facing. So that's what the facing component does. But I think what I need to do is, like, in my state normal here, I need to do facing component dot update global position plus velocity component dot velocity. Let's see if that does what I think it's going to do. It might not. So we'll see. Oh, come on, build the project. Build it, build it, build it. Thank you. That's a bad thing about C# is sometimes it takes a while. There we go. Yeah, so this, now it's flipping to face the correct way. Yeah. Okay, so that's looking much better now. That just goes straight into the freaking wall. I love that. So yeah, I think let's add some, I don't know why that happens sometimes. I think I can fix that pretty easily though. So sometimes when he hits the wall, he just keeps going. But I think in this enter state stunned, I think what I want to do in here is basically just always set the velocity to 0 when he's in that state. Just prevent him from moving, period. Instead of trying to get to the bottom of like what's actually causing that issue to happen, I'm just going to force it to 0 every time and call it good. We'll just throw some duct tape over it and no one will notice. Oops, I died. Okay. Let's do some particles. Let's see if we can get some... The first thing I want to start with is like tire track particles, I think. And we're going to figure out how that works. So... Instantiate child scene, GPU particles. Oops, not child scene. Add child node, GPU particles 2D. Let's do tire mark particles. And let's go ahead and try it out. So that's our texture. Particles animation is our material here. Okay. We don't want interpolation, so turn all that off. New process material. We're going to change the acceleration gravity to 0. Display animation max of 1 offset. Cool. This actually needs to be above. Well, I'll leave it for now. Okay, display color. We are going to make this black. Or maybe we can make it just like a really dark. Yeah, that'll work. Make it a dark purple or whatever that color is. Scale, we're going to do a min of 0.5 and a max of 0.5. That should do it. And then what we'll do also is we actually probably need to make this a child of the hit flash group component so that it flips as well in terms of its position, because we're going to put this right on the tire there. Cool. And then what we'll do is we will take those tire mark particles. Change the amount up to something like 20. The lifetime is probably good at 1 where it is. Let's change the angle to be random. So the idea is that as I'm doing this, let's get rid of the snapping. So it's gonna leave like a tire trail, right? Now maybe the lifetime of this could change. Let's do 0.75. We'll just really up the particle amount here. And then as I move this, that's what we're gonna end up with. However, I wanna make that fade out, or shrink out rather. So we'll go to scale, let's go to scale curve, new curve texture, and we're gonna hold this scale and then drop it down. So maybe something like that, yeah. So that's kind of the general idea. And if I put the tire mark particles above the sprite, that will render behind the thing. Access as unique name, we're going to turn off emitting. Lowrider spider, let's grab a reference to those particles. Node private GPU particles 2D, tire mark particles. And what do we need to do? Enter state charge windup. In here, we need to say tire mark particles dot emitting is equal to true. And then when we leave it, tire mark particles dot emitting equals false. Let's take a gander at what that does. Hello, Ariane. A car, what? Yeah, it's a Lowrider spider. That's what the Lowrider is. Time for me to add some enemies to my project. It might be weird, but I love working while listening to other people working on their stuff. Yeah, it's like a little game jam session. Nice. Okay. Sorry, but maybe you need to mirror the scale curve. Smoke is small when it goes from pipe and then spreads out. No. Well, it's not smoke, it's tire marks. You would be correct otherwise. I am going to add smoke, but it's going to be like white smoke. Maybe that's not lasting long enough. Let's see how that looks. I need to add a second particle system too. I know you're not keeping it, but this spinning car makes me chuckle. Yeah, it's pretty comical. Those are marks. Yeah, I'll do some effort, or I'll do some work to make those marks more obvious as tire marks. Honestly, I think maybe one of the problems is that this scale curve actually needs to be brought back more this way. Wish there was an easier way to know what was going on here other than just, I guess I could change the code to make it spawn more, but Yeah, so I need some more trails and whatnot too. I think before he starts the chart or the spin attack too, which is still called flame attack for some reason. We'll turn those on to emitting as well. If velocity component dot velocity dot length squared, we'll say if it's less than 20 times 20, tire mark particles dot emitting equals false. So we just want to turn those off if they get to a certain speed. And we also want to turn those off when we leave the state flame attack. Oh, I already have that? Oops. Wait, why is this all the way down here? Okay, so let's see what I need to add a second pair of tire marks, and maybe that will improve the visuals, but I want to make sure I get it right too before I go too far. I think it's interesting to combine platforming with shmup sessions. I'm trying to explore some ideas by mixing genres. I think that could be interesting. You know what? My immediate thought goes into like you're platforming and then, you know, you jump onto some kind of like trampoline or something that launches you into the sky. And then as you're flying up in the sky, that's when the shmup happens and you start like navigating through the air, but everything looks like you're still launched into the air, right? Like all the air's rushing past you, but then you're in like a shmup session, right? And then that lasts for a certain amount of time, and then you fall back down to the ground. I don't know how you would make that work in part of a larger game, but that's what my mind went to. But yeah, to answer your question, I think it's definitely an interesting idea. I think I need to play with some of the acceleration curves and stuff here too. But okay, I'm gonna duplicate this tire mark particles. Let's call this 1. Duplicate this one, call it 2. And then this is just gonna go basically back where the other tire would be. There's a better way to do this, but I'll just manually turn all these on. Okay, now I've got 2 sets of particles. Wonder what that's going to look like. Cuphead does this. Oh, that's true, yeah. Okay, I think that's looking pretty decent, actually. I think what I need to do is play with some of the accelerations and whatnot. Yeah, I'm just thinking. Yeah, it's definitely going to take a lot more effort here to get this feeling well. Let's change some things here. So I'm going to commit what I have firstly. And then let's change some of the accelerations here. So the velocity component, the acceleration coefficient is 1 and the max speed is 300. Let's turn the acceleration coefficient up to 1.5 a little bit, or maybe let's do 2. Let's double it. And I want to see how that feels. And then I might turn down some of the decelerations. Okay, he's definitely going much faster. So I don't know if I want 2. Let's do 1.5. I still want it to feel like floaty, like he's kind of zooming around. Yeah, so when he enters that flame attack, let's turn this acceleration coefficient multiplier down to 3. So he slows down faster, or slows down slower. Slows down slower, yeah. Okay, same for the other state. State charge windup. We're going to turn this down to 3 as well. So it just gives them more time to like slide around and leave tired tracks and whatnot. That spin attack is just not working well. Dang it. I'm trying to test. I'm not trying to die. Guess I should make myself invulnerable. Come up with main game platformer, but finish the stage and unlock new abilities to go to the shmup section. Yeah, I think that would work. What happens if I just stand still here? Yeah, he needs to have better, like, or more interesting, rather, targeting, I think. Goodbye. I'm just thinking. I think that acceleration is good. Maybe I'll just turn it down a little bit. Imagining a robot kangaroo jumping super high in the air, then using a glider for the shmup part. That's an interesting idea too. Yeah, that's feeling much better, this kind of style here of acceleration and whatnot. Yeah, I think that's looking great. I think what I'll do is I'll have like smoke particles or something that will come out. They'll come out when the acceleration, when the thing is accelerating but it's currently below a certain speed, I'll have the smoke particles come out. Maybe I'll give that a shot right now. Let's see what that looks like. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to just create a new particle system. Okay, I'm going to mark this as make unique, recursive, boom. Okay, so now let's go to display, scale. We're going to turn this back to 1 and 1.5. And color is going to go back to white. Let's turn emitting on. Put this back up here. Just kind of have it. Maybe we got to give it some gravity, I suppose. So let's see. Accelerations, gravity. That's too much. Whoops. Okay. All right, spawn. Let's do a sphere. That ought to work. That's probably too chunky, but... Oh, you know why it's too chunky? I think I just need to turn down this amount here. Smoke particles, let's turn it back up to 15, and then we're going to turn the explosiveness up to like 0.1. That should work. Okay, let's go ahead and get those smoke particles working. So I guess in the state normal we want to do this, so follow path. Velocity component dot velocity dot length squared is less than... Actually, let's do this. smoke particles emitting is equal to this. That's probably too low of a threshold, but I'll just play with that number until it looks good. So basically, if I'm trying to accelerate in a direction and I'm below a certain speed, it's just going to emit those smoke particles. I also need to turn them off though when I leave the normal state. Ooh, okay, so that's kind of working. I think this probably needs to be higher though. And then when we leave state normal, smoke particles dot emitting is equal to false. Just so that it doesn't hang around when we go into the future states, you know. I like the combination in Nier Automata where the first mission scroll shooter platformer, the game changes only by slight camera angle changes. Interesting. I've never played that game, so... But yeah, that does sound interesting. Hello, the Broken Crow. I'm doing well. How are you doing? Welcome back to the stream. That's still like a really low... really low amount of particles. Is it really accelerating that quickly? I think that's probably, I mean, I can do some work on that for sure, but I don't know if I'm going to get it to be super accurate without like intensely modeling, not intensely modeling, but loosely modeling like vehicle physics. I just want something that gives the impression of driving around, and I think that the smoke and the tire marks and everything are probably going to help with that, as well as whatever sound effects I end up adding, like the engine revving and the tires squealing and stuff. And of course, once I add some animations to it as well, I think it's going to look fine. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe the original acceleration that I had was good. I need to change how it targets the player, because right now it's just kind of like targeting the player directly, but I don't know if I want that to happen necessarily. I don't want it to go straight toward the player. I might even turn up the max speed, honestly. Let's try a 500 max speed. Oof, that's very quick. Maybe we'll turn this down. That's feeling a little bit better. Yeah, I think that's looking better. Honestly, Might keep that, turn down the acceleration coefficient to 0.75, and then when I'm doing the charge, this acceleration coefficient multiplier will turn that down to 8, so it's a little bit slower. I'm trucking along, taking small programming break after somehow failing to implement basic factory pattern in GDScript using inner classes. Ooh, yeah, that does sound tough. GDScript is a little bit weird. I have a feeling it would just not work in Godot using GDScript, but I'm a bit stubborn. Well, stubbornness is not exactly a bad quality to have when you're programming something, because sometimes you do need to be stubborn and just figure something out. So, but I hope you eventually figure it out. Oof. All right, that's feeling much better, I think. Feels a lot more floaty, which is kind of the point. Because it's really fast, the vehicle is really fast, but because it has such a low acceleration, it's easy to dodge. And so that's the point. So as it's driving around, it's loosely following you. It's easy to dodge, but then it will slow down with the tire tracks, and then it will do its little attack. It'll speed up, it'll zoom over. Okay, those tweaks are feeling much better. I still need to change the targeting behavior, how it chooses a target. I'm curious what would happen if I did this. Let's change how it chooses its target position. So right now, acquire, I think it just goes straight to the player, right? Yeah, here. Pathfind component set target position player.global position. So I think what I want to do is I can access the velocity component on the player. So I think what I want to do is I want to actually target. This is not a targeting pattern that I've used before, but take the player position and then add the player velocity to it. So that way, so basically make the Lowrider spider target the position where the player is going to be in 1 second. And that's going to create an interesting pattern, I think. So if I do player.global position plus player.velocity component dot velocity, that will be where it's at in 1 second. I'm curious to see what that's going to do. Oh, that's kind of interesting. Yeah, now he's kind of like trying to intercept me. He gets stuck on those tables because they're not pathfind avoiding. That's so funny. Oh, it just zooms past. Oh yeah, I like that targeting pattern much more. It feels like he's trying to intercept you, like he's trying to physically hit you with his car now, rather than just kind of like dumbly following you. And then that charge, I guess. Yeah, that charge. I might as well turn on the smoke for the charge too, right? On a different note, how did the meta upgrade system work out? Last time I was here, you were working on the UI. It turned out great. I'll actually show you it after this quick test. I'm very happy with the meta upgrade system. Again, it's one of those things where there's still stuff to do, but I think I need to change the visibility rect on that. But anyway, I'll show you the meta upgrade system here. The meta upgrade screen, at least. So you go to this table, boom. There's the upgrade tree. So I don't know how much of this you've seen, but everything has an icon now, except for this one, apparently. So I got to do that. But everything's got an icon, name. It's got the gold cost, description, all that good stuff. And you can just click to unlock. I do need to still implement a refund. I want to enable the ability of a player to refund things. But that looks really good. I love how that turned out. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. I think it turned out pretty good too. So yeah, I'm happy with it. I have a couple more meta upgrades I want to add, but honestly, I think this is a good amount. Like if I didn't create any more, I think that this would be fine for release, but I do have more ideas. It's just a matter of priority at this point. Right now, number one priority is getting a build updated for the demo. And then the number two priority is to finish the game. So all right, I think I'm going to call the stream there. I'm getting very hungry, so I'm going to need to go eat lunch. But if there's any final questions, I'll stick around to answer those. Otherwise, while I'm waiting for those to come in, if they come in, I want to mention that if you want to support my work, you can check out the links in the description below. Pick up one of my Udemy courses. It helps me out financially. You can also wishlist Gunforged, sign up for my email list. All that good stuff is in the description below. Probably will be streaming multiple times this week, continuing on doing the art for the Lowrider spider and all that good stuff. So that's the plan. And yeah, like I said, number one priority is getting the demo ready to go. I'll also mention that you probably want to hit the notification bell and subscribe to the channel, because on the 30th, so in 3 days, I have a new video coming out that covers pixel art tips for people with no art skills. So if you're interested in learning some of the tips that I learned to get better at pixel art, that will be coming out very soon, this week on the 30th. So hit the notification bell so you don't miss that. And let's just see. Enjoy lunch. Thank you. Yeah, it'll be tasty, I hope. Thank you all for being here. It was great. Wait, just curious, on average, how much do you spend a day with game dev? How much time? Usually it's like a couple hours, three to 4 hours a day usually. I don't typically work like all day because I get tired of doing that. So if I was really crunching though, I probably would, but I'm just trying to manage my tasks appropriately so I don't have to necessarily crunch that much. So yeah, I don't spend like all day doing it. Good priorities go a long way. Would you ever show off how you implemented your state machine logic? Super interesting. I love learning how the sausage was made. That's actually available. So if I go to GitHub. Whoops. GitHub.com/Firebelly/Godot utilities. So if you go here and you go into Godot utilities, source, logic, delegate state machine, this is the code for the state machine that I use. So I'll go ahead and link this actually. Hopefully it allows me to send things here. There we go. So yeah, if you want to check that out, there it is. But other than that, have a good day, everyone. And I will see you in the next stream. All right, bye-bye.